We're on to day 2. The overall, if you haven't watched day 1, go back. I kind of describe exactly how it's set up. I fished a lot of the same spots again on day 2, so definitely worth a listen. Day 2, I was an early boat number. So let's start with, I finished the tournament in 24th. It was a really good tournament. If you don't know that already, I was pumped about it. Got me really good points, got a good check out of it. So I'm making my way towards that title championship. I need to get through the James River and then the, where do we go, Champlain after that. So 2 semi close to home, within 7 hours each of my house. So I don't have a ton of experience on the James, but that's actually where I'm at now. Going to put some more time in. But let's get to day 2 at Guntersville. I started off on the same spot that I caught the 14 pounds in the morning, those bluegill beds we were talking about. And I got there, and if you know Guntersville, it's got a ton of eelgrass in it right now. And with how the wind was blowing, it blew all into my bluegill bed. I couldn't really fish it with the Zinker Z like I was the day before, so I had to make some adjustments. I started throwing a frog over top of it. I caught one that was about 2.5. It was all right. It didn't really do me a whole lot of good. I think I ended up getting rid of that one later in the day. I ended the day with 17 pounds, 9 ounces. So I had a 2-day weight, total of 35 and change. So I was sitting in good position. I was in 19th place going into day 3. But back to day 2, what I ended up doing was running to my second spot where I'd caught those fish shallow on that Jackhammer. There ended up being a bunch of bluegill beds. We had some more wind on day 2, so that really helped that Jackhammer bite. I was catching a lot of them on it. I went back through there. I caught almost 4, caught like a 3 something, and so I was really jacked up about that. Went to my next spot, which is the deeper bluegill beds we were talking about, and that one I was taking, it was blowing pretty good in there, and that was the day before. All I could get them to bite was that wacky rig. So I started off throwing the wacky rig, that Zinker Z, and they weren't picking it up at all. So I kind of decided, with this wind, I should be able to throw that Jackhammer through there. So I kind of lined up on it. It was a big, giant grass flat, had a couple stumps on it, a couple patches that had those bluegill beds that were a little bit cleaner, and I started just casting this as far as I could, which was ended up being a really good choice because I bombed that sucker out there in like second or third cast. It loads up, I set it. We got that Phantom cranking. It's a glass rod, so that's why I like to really throw my Jackhammers on. It gets a better load up on it, so that way the fish can't throw the bait. And when I did that, it came out of the water. I was like, oh, that's a big one. That's a really big one. And I walked it, I'm playing it, and I finally scooped her up. 5.5. She looked like a pre-spawner. She had a belly full of eggs still, I think, and was my big fish of the tournament. Really kind of jumped me up real high in the points there, and packed on the weight. So that was super good. I was really happy with that. Like I said, we ended up in the day in 19th place. So I had to kind of go catch probably 20 pounds. I don't know what it ended up actually being, but I felt like 20 pounds in my head was what I was going to need to make the final day cut. But we'll talk more about that on day 3. Thanks for watching. If you do me a huge favor, make sure you please like and subscribe to the channel here. If you want to try a favorite rod, the code GB20, it'll save you 20% off at favoriterodsusa.com. Rods, reels, anything on the site. So it's definitely worth getting. And we're going to talk more about that coming up in the next channel. All right, we'll talk to you soon. See ya. It's a cloud. Number 2. Number 3. Healthier looking one. There we go. Slowly working our way up. Go. There's one that we actually need. Ooh. There we go. Number 4. 4 solid one. Maybe we're on to something, fellas. Maybe we're on to something. Five. Woo. Frisky number 5. Yeah! That's what we're talking about. Big one. Oh, she choked the chatterbait. Oh God, we needed that. Gosh, look at that chatterbait. It's gone. You think she wanted it? Oh, big old pre-spawner, I think. It looks like she's got eggs in her still. That's gonna help the cause. That's gonna really help. Number 2's gone. Puts us at 16 and a quarter almost. And that's what we got rid of. We needed that. We needed that in the worst way. Guys, we're still working our way up. We're up to just over 17.